Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Like I said, the normal citizen, in the face of law enforcement, we have almost no power, barring legal counsel, having appointed legal counsel waiting on the sidelines. And in order to do that, to be in wait on the sidelines, standing by, you have to have money. You have to have money. You got to give them the money, and it has to be a retainer. It has to be a pot, an account of money waiting there. And that attorney to access that money, sometimes that attorney will hope something happens to you so that they can access that money, even if you have like $50,000. Personally, I think there should be an insurance provided that you are not a criminal, even for criminal charges. There should be an insurance set aside that you pay a premium every month, and that premium will pay for up to $100,000 worth of legal representation, including bail, or let's say $250,000. You do it for everything. Calamities, this will never happen. This is how the insurance companies make billions. It's people on paying for things and encourage and help for those, and then encourage and help by the insurance companies to make sure those things never happen so they can keep collecting the premium based on fear. Your fear of this, your fear of that, pay us and we will be there for you to take care of that fear. Pay us and we will use our vast money that we're collecting every month, or from millions of people. Let's say you have 2 million people. 2 million people, you're collecting $89 a month. You know what that comes out to? 2 million people paying $89 a month in the premium based on a fear. They want to be prepared for something, but they won't use it. That's $89 million a month times 2. 89 million a month times 2 is 178. $178 million a month. And imagine that if only 10, or imagine if only 100 people collect on that, on 300,000. Let's say each one is paying that money for about 300,000. So let's say only 100 people have to use $300,000. They're paying at $89 a month to be insured up to $300,000 for anything that may come at them. Legal expenses, bail, arrest. So let's say only 100 people use it in a given month. So that's 300,000 times 10, 3 million. Times 100, $30 million. But they're collecting every month from the rest that are not using it, $178 million. So imagine if you up that ante to $500,000 in legal expenses and insurance, right? You know what that would come out to? And it would be people who are not prone. It would be only eligible people who are not prone to be arrested, especially the Muslim community. People who are not prone to be charged, or anything, who don't have a long rap sheet and don't have a tendency to be in trouble, but who are afraid of pogroms, whatever, this, that. And law enforcement doesn't have to know that you have this policy. It's better that law enforcement doesn't know, and they don't know your premium rate. Your coverage rate, 500,000, because then they can construe bail to exceed that amount, so you won't be able to pay. Law enforcement must never know that, and the intelligence operation must never know that. That's very privy information. They must never know that. So the thing is, somebody, if they use a doctor, Indo-Pakistani, Arab, Palestinian, if they use a doctor or a prominent member or imam or Molana like they did in Milpitas, California, very fair, a bi complexion, European complexion, Pakistani. Molana said he was involved in this, suspicion of that, and then they didn't find the things to support the suspicion. They didn't find it, and actually there was nothing, so they used the immigration clause, and they and turned that man's life upside down and expulsed him. They threw him out, and I was shocked when I came back from Singapore, found out he was thrown out. Original Molana that used to be in Milpitas, very pious man, similar to this Molana, but what you heard, the people get tired of me being a beggar, being in need. So I have told them for years on end, I don't want to be a beggar. Help me get an 18-wheeler, a tractor, or the down payment for an 18-wheeler. Help me do it without riba, even when I used to go to the Gulf States. Help me do it, without interest. They wouldn't listen, because there were a lot of people, they have a thing, al-habbul Muslim المسلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alayhi salatu wa salam wa rasulullah. And I'm born here, so forgive me my Arabic. I'm born in the U.S. Alayhi wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah. Said al-Muslim haba lahu wa haba nafsi. And then he goes on further and said, Ma andu yani al-wahid ma andu hada fi qalb. Or if that reality, if that is not seated in the heart, your Muslim brother or Muslim wants for his brother what he wants for himself. I would elaborate and say a Muslim wants for his brother or his sister or his fellow believer what he wants for himself, woman or man. And if you don't have that in your heart, that is not in the heart, he said, I assure you, something to that effect, I better be careful here. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'm dealing with translation. That I can assure you that if that is not, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, if that is not seated in that heart, the heart that doesn't have that, there's no iman. You know what is iman? Belief. If you don't have belief, that means what? You kufr. That's kufr. Meaning a fellow Muslim, someone who prays, you want to be married, you want to eat good food, you want to have good sex, you want to marry a nice, woman that's attractive to you, all that kind of stuff, be comfortable, ride in good vehicles, all that kind of stuff. If you don't want the same thing for your fellow Muslim brother, and you have rancor or disdain towards him, or you hate him, you don't like him, like the conflict between me and brother Samir Subra of State College Road from the beginning, because they saw me filming, and the sister told him, "Oh look, he's got a camera there," thinking that I'm an informant, not knowing that I'm a target of informant. I'm the target of informants. They didn't know that, but and I'm fighting being called a terrorist and an extremist. I'm fighting being labeled that I'm the same as Paul Ciancia, long before Paul Ciancia. I'm the same as Aaron Alexis, as John, such and such Allen Mal, or such and such Malvo, or John Allen Muhammad, or Timothy McVeigh. I'm the same type of people because I express anger, I express dissatisfaction at the way we're being treated and forced into homelessness. And the homelessness, therefore, you start becoming desperate and you do things in violation of vehicle or law enforcement code, and then you become incarcerationable. You become imprisonable, qualified for imprisonment and incarceration because of the circumstances construed and forced by the intelligence community in conjunction, in combination with law enforcement, malfeasant, ethnically bigoted law enforcement. Not racist, ethnically bigoted, particularly with a strong anti-Afro hue in leading up. Here comes a Jewish woman now. Jew. Yeah, this woman is Jewish. Come every morning, and as soon as she saw me, she anything like that. I don't know that woman. And I said it, and you heard it when I said in the voice of disdain. And the reason why I said Jewish, because there's a certain type of the Jewish community, they can't stand blacks. This is what gets us, man. Yeah, even if she's not. But I think so. But they can't stand us, man. They ain't got no, and they're condescending. They have no respect for us. As much as we respect and admire them and look up to them for being the harbingers of free speech, and they're the only people allowed to speak freely. Their community. We're not allowed to say the same things that they say. We're not allowed to represent or to stand up for human and civil rights and dignity the way they're able to. Human Rights Watch and other stuff. We're not allowed to do it. Like Glenn Greenwald, you look at it. He spoke at a Muslim symposium here in Orange County at the Hilton the other night. I was going out and didn't make any noise, didn't protest anything. They just thought I was talking. They couldn't hear YouTube. And the thing is, this man, he's a Jewish brother, gentleman of Jewish ancestry, and a gay man. So I wonder how he could do that, knowing that Islam does not support homosexuality. Islam doesn't. It doesn't. You have a queer Muslim movement, and there's a lot of that. Even people that don't say that overtly say queer Muslim. Egypt is full of them. Turkey is full of them. And the thing is, I wonder how, in his conscience, how could he speak at a Muslim forum? And I'm Muslim, and I'm telling you the truth. There's no compulsion in no religion, as they say. There's no lies. Sure, trust me, there's no lies, no deceit in Islam. And I have no idea